Hello, everyone. I hope you can all see me.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, hi.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. So we are super happy to have you here. So for the first 5 minutes, I guess there will be more people joining. So we will just start with an online presentation of Parfum Dusita, which is basically a 3 minutes video that I will share with you. Okay?
Enjoy.
Let's do it. So I will share my screen and we're good to go.
Yeah.
Can you all see the
Screen.
Dusita logo?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, let's go for it.
I came to Paris with a dream to open my own maison de haute parfumerie in the city of love. In 2014, I created my own company. I studied how French perfumery was created, and that's how Parfum Dusita was born. I aim to create radiantly beautiful and unforgettable fragrance that showcase the supreme quality of raw materials. Perfume with a true and profound emotional impact, where French sophistication meets traditional Siamese elegance. Dusita means a paradise, a place where one is free to create art with love and passion. I want everyone to feel the instant happiness every time they smell my perfume. At Parfum Dusita, our passion for fine fragrance begins with the love of classic French perfumery, and I bring my own knowledge of fragrance oil, powder, and resin with our Thai heritage. For centuries, every kind of traditional
Yeah.
Okay, so the video is done. So I hope you really enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. So the third thing we're gonna start with, I'm gonna ask you to mute yourself just to make sure that there is no background noise. I can see that most of you have done it, so that's perfect. So I'm first gonna start to introduce myself because you probably don't know me. Some of them might, I recognize some faces. So my name is Michael Bourguignon and I'm a marketing manager here at Parfum Dusita. I joined Dusita 4 years ago, so almost the beginning. And it's a wonderful adventure that I'm sharing with Pissara. So many things to do, so many things to learn, and beautiful creations that we work with. So as I said, we're really excited to have you here. So I'm going to explain you a little bit what's going to happen during this online presentation. So the agenda, basically. To start, Pissara will talk to you about her inspiration for this special creation, and she will share information about the fragrance structure and the raw materials. Then she will update you about what to expect from Parfum Dusita in the near future. And then we'll close this meeting with a Q&A session during which Pissara will answer any questions you might have regarding the company, regarding the new launch, or all the projects we have for the future. So of course, don't hesitate to leave comments in the presentation while we introduce the new launch. I will try to make sure that we can answer to all your questions, even though it's a lot of participants. We'll do our best. And here with me, Pissara.
Hi everyone. I'm Pissara here. So happy to see you all here. Thank you so much for coming to the online presentation of Montri. So let us go together to my hello.
So the first question that I have for you, Pissara,
Yes.
Can you please share with us the story behind the new creation? What is the inspiration between this 13th creation of Dusita?
So this is the 13th, which is a very special number, and I want it to be very special. As you know that my father, Montri Umavijani, his work has been inspiration for many of my creations. But I want to do something even more special for him to show his personality and who he is through my perfume creation. So that's why Mondri, his name, the creation was born. You know the word Mondri in Thai, it means a man who is a philosopher. And I want to reflect his love for nature, the time that he spent writing the book, traveling, the time he spent with me, and the love we had when he was alive. I hope that you will see together and discover with me together here his fragrance and accord that represent different facets of my father.
Great, thank you very much, Pissara. So
You're
now
welcome.
talking about your father, can you please tell us which fragrances he really enjoyed and how is this reflected in the creation, Montri?
Okay, my father, he spent a lot of time in Paris when he was alive. He was really into the perfume in the 60s, especially the house of Guerlain. And the perfume that he really loved are two fragrances, Mitsuko and Le Bleu. He really loved Le Bleu because for him it really reflects his moments in Paris, the elegance of the time. So he bought some perfume to my mom back in Bangkok. Therefore, I got to smell it, and that has inspired me a lot as a part of this Mondri creation.
Beautiful. So how would you summarize your approach for Montri's creation?
I mean, if my father had been alive today, I would imagine him as like a fragrance, and the raw material that I would use to describe him would be the agar wood, the wood, because he is a strong man and he loves nature and he also very connected to his roots. And I think if he would be alive today, he would be like wood and spice and something that reflect in this Mondri creation, I think.
Okay, so as you already know, Pissara's creations are always connected to art. She basically associates an artwork that she designed herself, but also the poetry of her father. So he was a famous poet, and you know, she wanted to put in light the creations he made after he passed away. And we would like to show you the poetry Pissara chose for Montri, the new creation. So Pissara, maybe you can explain a little bit why you choose this creation, this poet.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this poetry is one of his favorites that reflect him very well, because my father is someone who worked with love and passion throughout his life. Therefore, he compared himself with a pen. And in this beautiful poem, he said, "The pen is me, and I am the pen. In writing, the pen get lost to become part of the thing I cannot recall." It means something, that he cannot distinguish himself away from his art. He taught me so much about creativity, how to live with passion, and how to travel to find the inspiration. For me, as a daughter, he always say, "Ploy," this is what they call me. You always have to bring a pen and a paper when you go anywhere, in case you can write down your thoughts. And that is so important until now as a perfumer, Sometimes the inspiration can come anywhere, anytime, any moment in our life.
Thank you. So just checking out the comment, I guess we can read one of two. So we have Susie who says, "Wonderful tribute. I lost my father recently and he loved fragrance too."
I'm so sorry, Susie. I think we are very connected with our father in a very special way. The way we perceive the perfume also, right, Mike?
And then we have Eric who says, "I think it's quite amazing that you've created a perfume to honor your father. He is the inspiration behind all your creations."
He does. I mean, it's just something, I don't know, it's a little thing I can do for him now that he passed away, but I am happy to do that. So Dusita is not only a brand, but for me, it's like a personal value.
Okay, thank you. So we've prepared a little presentation just to put some visuals, some image in Montri so you can have an idea of what it looks like. And then after that, I guess it will be time to introduce the creation and to smell it together. Exactly. So let me just share my screen and I will show you what we've prepared. Up. Let's go. Okay.
So these are the 13 creation. Well, at Dusita, we only launch 1 or 2 perfume a year. So it had been my 5th or 6th year already.
Yes.
Thank you for your support. I mean, it has been a journey. So I would like to present Mondri or the Parfum. I want to present Mondri because it conveys his character and the idiosyncrasies, the thing he loved and he believed in, as well as the fragrance that he enjoyed the most when he was alive. I want to reflect the soul, eternal character. And also I try to step further. I imagine that what he would love to wear right now if he had been alive. I hope you will enjoy this fragrance together with me. So this is our campaign. So as you can see, very, very different from the other creation of Dusita, right?
Yeah, we wanted to put in light all the ingredients,
exactly,
but also the ingredients that are not necessarily in the perfume, but that also represent its universe. I think it's important to mention.
Yes, and also you can see that this is like probably the first time that I use a lot of spices. As well as the other things together.
But we'll discover it.
Exactly. So now let's pause the presentation and let's smell the accord together, shall we, Mike?
Yeah, sure.
Everyone you have the little bottle with you. Yeah.
So you should normally have 3 of them.
So let's smell them together.
Okay, I can see some of them on the video. That's perfect.
So let's smell the smallest bottle, the spice first, the spices, spice blend. So this is the blend of so many spices, the saffron, nutmeg, coriander, cinnamon, and oregano. Let's smell them together. For me, yes, thank you. I love seeing the comment here, when I smell it's like I smell with you in like very smooth. I want the spice to be smooth and easy to blend. I create this spice to make sure that everything is in harmony, easy to blend, and give the touch of certain thing, you know, that came from Asia. Oh, thank you, Christian. You think it could be a fragrance by itself? One day. I love spices, and in Bangkok, I mean, my father, he grew up in Bangkok and he is always love to go to the market. And in Asia, we have a really beautiful spice market, where people display the spice in the bags. And I want to display this aspect of him traveling. He also fascinated by the culture of Nepal, India, you know, the South Asia as well. And the spice roots. Thank you. I really encourage you to try it on your skin and see how it's developed. I will do the same. Let's do it. I'm sorry, it's not that strong. So this is the first time I use the spice as like one of the major ingredients. I mean, in the past, I used moonlight in Chiang Mai, for example. I used nutmeg. I use certain spices, but this is like the first time I really use the spice blend. Thank you. I'm happy you enjoy it. Oh, I have one nice comment also, like remind me of the vintage opium by Mary J. Thank you. It's an honor, really. For me, I like it too. I mean, the how do you say? I always say the function of the accord is something that probably not completely perfect because it's not a perfume, but it should be something that show certain aspect and enhance the whole structure of perfumery. So spice that present the aspect of the man who love to travel and also be close to people in different countries. So let's move on to a second accord that I'm very proudly present. Floral accord.
I see some smile here.
It has been a while actually that I create this accord with the perfume, and it takes me a while, and I realized that these accords are macerated. I mean, it has changed over time, and that is probably something normal in the natural. What do you think about this floral accord? This floral accord is very, very, very unique because it has what I love to use in some of the perfume at Dusita is soft, rosy, iris, orange butter, which is a bit powdery at the same time, and there's a hint of jasmine. Some people said, oh, it reminds me of Splendiris. I can say that too, but it has a kind of, I don't know, it's kind of something more ambery about it. What do you think? Maybe you can try on your skin. I would do the same, Mike. Now that in a way, I think it kind of macerate nicely. Gino said Fleur de Lalita and Splendiris. It's warm and delicate. So this floral accord, I mean, it can be something that you can describe a man. My father is a sensitive person, and it doesn't mean that a man cannot be described in floral. And this is something that he loved, bleu, and the kind of person who is very caring about other person. I hope you enjoy the floral accord. For me, it's like it starts and it changes. Oh, thank you.
We have Dajana asking if there is jasmine.
There is a jasmine. There is jasmine samba. Absolute in here. So you can feel a hint, but not a lot. But for me, it became very powdery. There's a green touch of the rose may as well. I hope you enjoy it. Yes, the jasmine came out on the skin. Yes, blue sun, and it's better than on the bottle alone. So it's like if you try on the skin, it will evolve in a way, right? For me, Paris. So this floral accord, it always think of. For me, it always remind me of old Paris. You know, the old Paris, the old perfumery in Paris, like 40 years ago. You know, when there was like a lot of creativity, the launch of Coty, Guerlain, Herbleu. You know, that was like the glory of, let's say, the beautiful artisanal perfume of Paris. Nice. Ah, interesting. Have very interesting comments. Yeah, it depends on your skin. I mean, spice can be more like opulent on the skin also.
So we have Izzy who says that this will go perfectly with the spice.
You know what? When after this Zoom conversation, you can keep the accord and you can also play together. For those of you who have joined Anamkala launch last time, you can also blend this accord with the accord that I used before, just to create your own blend, you know, just for fun. I mean, I always do that. Sometimes you discover new things, like you can blend spice with the bouquet, with the tea, and you know, oud with the fruity, the one that we present last time.
Well, I guess we have a third one to discover.
Yeah, your creation. No, but it's true, you can blend anything together actually, but just the question of proportion. Yeah, a perfume play kit. So let's go to the base of the fragrance, the foundation. So I would like to tell you before you smell together with me the oud. When people think of agar wood or oud with Parfum Dusita, they always think of oud infini, like oud infini. My first creation, first tree. And I would like to tell you that oud has so many beautiful facets. Oud infini is just one of the dynamic facets, but I think it doesn't have to be like that. Oud can be elegant, can be also tame, a bit less animalic, and a bit like proper as well. So let's smell together. Oud in Montri. So you can see the color because it had been macerated for a while. Yes, let's smell it together. Mike, I'm gonna wear it.
On the skin.
Yeah. Oop.
Don't drop it. It's gonna smell good all day.
Share your thought with me here. For me, it's like this is the core of my father. Gentle, elegant, kind, very, how can I say, rooted to the nature and sensitive to his environment. Someone said, oh, like liquor. Yes. For me, I think, thank you, Mac40 said, very interesting take, feel like oud liquor. I mean, for me, perfume, oud can be interpreted in 10,000 of ways. And you can definitely use it as a separate perfume because it's something I dare you to blend it with something here or use it as separate and and tell me what you think. For me, wood is something very eternal, you know, I also use the real wood because it's true. I came from the Southeast Asia and it's it's like our heritage, our products that you can find in that region. The interpretation is definitely so different from Oud Infini, but the facet is there. I can feel also a little animalic, but my mom said that, oh, this is so lettery.
So I saw a comment to which you already answered. Someone says, it's Sembatin who says less animalic than Oud Infini. So how would you compare Montri to Oud Infini? I guess people are probably, you know.
I mean, Oud Infini is like a dynamic perfume that is about a moment of discovery, you know, like going to a safari or exotic land. It has endless energy and certain beauty, but Mondri is more like a person who realizes himself, you know, and who is like, I don't know, who is passionate like my father and who sit down and write and express himself. So it's completely a different idea, I would say. Yeah, it's like Jonathan said, it's like a ghost of Oud Infini haunting Montri
in an elegant way.
But it's very, very interesting because my father, he always like very spiritual, you know, like someone who loved nostalgia in the past and who always like think of certain moment, probably sometimes not always in the present, but more like in the past. Oh yes, and this wood is also reflect the home that my father used to live when he was young. You know, Bangkok had changed so much over the years. And the home that he used to live, it was like the wood home, very old wood, okay? And then one day they need to destroy that because they want to build like, how do you say, the highways. So it was a nostalgia that I used to visit this home, and it was like home that he loved so much. So this wood is also represent this kind of memory.
Wow. My God, that's deep. So I guess we're done with the presentation of the accord. So I hope you like the concept of discovering the perfume with the three main accords. That's something we've launched with Ankara, and I guess, you know, people have liked it so far. You know, we just want to have your opinion just to make sure we can continue in the future. So don't hesitate to share any feedback that you may have, even though I see only positive comments. So
don't hesitate.
So we can continue. Great. Thank
Definitely.
You. Thank you.
So let's go back to the pyramid, shall we?
Sure. So just give me 1 second.
And then we can smell the perfume together. So you can see the color of the perfume is reflect on the accord. I love to play with the color. I think color is so important when we think about a scent, color and story. So let's start the moment. So Mike, we can start to smell together, Mondri.
Yes, very good idea.
I'm curious to hear what you think, and don't hesitate to leave the comments. If it's not the first time, or I don't know, don't hesitate to let us know what you think. And if you have any question, I can definitely answer together at the end. For me, yes, the perfumer, for me, the accord is so important to create a perfume. And it's always fun to go further and do different things each time. So that's why I create always different accords to show you in each launch. It's so much fun to me.
Great. We have someone who says that it's easy. She says that she loves the cap of the bottle.
Thank
so
you.
It's probably time to show you the bottle before we start smelling it. What do you think? Because we have it here. So if you can see my camera. So we all know this Dusita bottle. It's the same, but this time it's Montri that I have. The real juice, the real color, as you can see.
So this is the natural color of Mondri.
Exactly.
It's very interesting because it's a little bit golden, rich yellow, which more stronger than I thought. The perfume is quite strong, right, Mike?
It is, and long lasting.
It's about 27%. Actually, I could call it extrait, but I did not. Let's smell it together, everyone. Can you bring out your little bottle of Montri? Little cute Montri bottle, handmade.
Let's smell it.
Yes. Well, you can smell it on the paper or directly on the skin if you dare.
For me, it's going to be on the skin.
Okay, Mike, it's gonna last all night. It's gonna last. Ah. Well, I think Mondri had macerated, and you can feel the three accords together, synchronize together, and become one, right?
Yeah. Totally.
I mean, for me, it has like a little bit of, I don't know how, but like dry fruits, bergamot. I can even say bergamot, like a sharp opening. And it also the facet of the woody wood thing. And then the heart, and then the flowers start to bloom. I can feel like a little bit of the powdery of the iris.
We have amazing comments here. We have Izu says your father would have smelled amazing if he wore this.
Thank you. I mean, I wish he could be here. You know, I really happy to be able to do something for him, because the time he was alive and the last day he could leave, he told me that he had been working very hard and a few people appreciate his work. But then I told myself, I want to do something for him. It's like a goal in my life. And that's why like Dusita was born. So, oh, I forgot to show you, Mike. Can we show the drawing of him here? So you can see on this is like an image of Montri. I mean, for me, it's like the smell of the perfume. There is something a bit green, and this is him working next to the window, the forest. And he was like very into his work. He probably used a fountain pen, and you know, he think about his work. Actually, the reality is my father loved to work during the night. So this is a sense that can be worn in, you know, nocturnal as well as, you know, the day. It's here in the spirit. Smell. Wow. Thank you. I mean, there is a tobacco, yes, and a letter as well. Yes, Max. I mean, I want to have different things, different facets in this. And not only masculine, but he's someone who also have the feminine side. He's like some complex person, I would say. Thank you. Yeah, you can get rose now, right? Some of you may feel rose. And
we had someone who said that he or she could recognize the signature of Dusita in this new creation.
yeah,
What can you say about that?
well, I mean, it's interesting because I really break all the things I used to do, like, you know, the raw material I used to do and the structure of perfume, but I guess that sometimes we have our own signature when we create something, Mike.
Oh, we have a question for Susie. She's asking why you choose this oud palau.
I really love the wood palau because it can go in, it's a young wood that is found in the north of Laos that I really love, and it's something that very versatile. Like it can be used and turned into different aspects, different type of like olfactory wood fragrances. I would say that, but however, there are many wood that I love as well. But by the way, Susie, thank you for the question. Also, in terms of production, wood palau, I can source, and the batch that I source from batch year to year, it doesn't change too much. Sometimes I source the Thai wood, and sometimes from batch to another batch, it was like too much changes. So, you know, it will change the perfume too much as well. Thank you. Smurfy girl favorite. And beautiful rose. The woody base is magnificent. I hope it will stay on your skin, and in my opinion, it's quite long lasting. It's quite long lasting in my opinion, I think. Let me know what you think, and you can share what you think about these fragrances. So,
Okay.
Mondri.
So we have another, sorry.
The image of
Yes.
Montri. Yeah, this is the book of him. As Old as the World. This is the compilation of his poetry that we print when he passed away. And I'm proud to take this photo along with the perfume and the wood. For those of you who love to read his work, you are very welcome to my boutique. And you can read and as much as you want.
Yes,
yeah,
we have all the books there. So
exactly. Also, if you read Thai, he also make a translation of great literature into Thai. But mostly he wrote in English.
So I saw someone raising their hand. So don't worry, we're gonna have a Q&A in a few minutes for all the questions you may have. Pissara, do you have something to add?
So Mondri is now available, and I would like to thank you to you all for your support for Dusita, because I mean, knowing you from the first day that I started the brand, it means so much. And having a friendships, you know, over the year, it inspired me to create different perfume, and it also pushed me further to do something better. I hope.
Yes, and before we dip into the Q&A session, so the official launch of Montri is the 1st of June.
Yeah. Let's stop sharing the slide.
Up.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening, for smelling Montri and the Accord with us. I hope it was a wonderful discovery for you. And it's now time to ask any questions you may have. So you can use the chat. You can raise your hand if you want to speak. I would just need to unmute you. And yeah, waiting for all your questions.
Okay.
So we had someone raising their hand.
So absent. Thank you.
Okay. I think we have Nursena who raised the hand.
And
before.
we will ask to unmute you.
So,
hello there. Can you hear us?
Hello, Nursena.
Hi. Thank you so much for this introduction. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
I would like to know how it makes you feel personally wearing this.
You mean how do I feel when I wear this perfume?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm turning back time and back to my childhood and, you know, following my father and observing him from near and from afar. Like he liked to go to the temple, he liked to go to the markets. I imagine him very vividly in this image, you know, like this is a kind of nostalgia and imagining him like coming to Paris, even though I wasn't there with him. Like imagine a life of someone who really passionate and who, you know, he didn't have, how to say, he wasn't that fortunate in his life when he was young, but he was like a self-study and someone who would want to learn the language.
Yeah. Does it make you feel more connected in a way when you wear it?
Yes. Since I think about this idea, first I wasn't sure what kind of interpretation I would do or what kind of creation. But the more I start to blend and I feel more and more connected with him.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the great question.
Okay, so let's go to the next one. So I will just up. Okay, so we have Izzy here. I will ask you to unmute yourself.
Hi, good evening, everyone. And first and foremost, many thanks for the presentation and the beautiful creation. And many congratulations on launching it the upcoming days. As you told, I still wonder, this is a tribute to your father. And it begs the question, how would that perfume smell for your mother? Could you maybe elaborate on that?
I would like to ask if my mom is here. I asked her to be here, but I'm not sure. I mean, my mom is very different from my father. She's a modern woman, very active and like to exercise. And she also have like a lot of sense of humor. And, you know, when she came to my boutique, she always sweep the floor. And I mean,
it would be such a dynamic perfume.
The opposite of my father, I would say. My father is all about nostalgia, and my mom is all about the future. So my mom, it would be something very opposite. Like I would say, my mom loves citruses. It would be a blend of citrus, and also spices, but not this kind of spice, but another kind of spices, and also a little bit of flour to probably to think about her feminine side. But I would say mainly I would use like grapefruit to describe my mom, some mask, something modern, and the way she laughs, you know. I think I'm gonna use some, I don't know. But just to tell you funny story, she loved Oud Infinity, but she also have like a diverse perfume taste. Like she also loved Tommy Girl. She also loves Cirque Lutang, Feu d'Orange. Like she wear Cias Blanc, which is very unusual. I hope I answer your question, Izzy.
Great. And we have Mari commenting that your next creation should be a tribute to your mom.
It should be, right? Because she's helping me with the company. It should be one day.
Very nice. Thank you, Izzy, for the question.
Oh, yes, she loves Moonlight. Yes, that's true.
It would be fantastic. Okay. So
thank you.
I see
Cynthia.
Hello, Cynthia.
Lesuk.
You have to unmute yourself.
Thank you, Izzy.
Okay. Oh, we don't hear you, Cynthia, sorry.
I think you need to unmute with your like 3 dots, the microphone, yeah.
It's okay. So in the meantime, for those who want to ask a question, you have the raise your hand functionality in Zoom that you can press.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can also ask through the chat.
Yeah. Cynthia, if you want, you can type the question and I will definitely answer.
Yes, that's a good idea. In the meantime, we're going to take another
Susie.
question. So we have Susie here, and then Cynthia will take your question.
Okay.
So Susie, you can unmute yourself.
Hi, Susie.
Hi. So lovely to speak to you. I was wondering the connection with the poetry of your father, which is so beautiful. But when you're creating, do you start with the poem or do you match the poem to the perfume?
Thank you for the great question. I must say I do both ways. Sometimes when I start to create, I start with a blank mind, which means that, let's say the first 3 creations of Dusita, I find the poetry later after I finish my perfume. I ask myself, what does it mean to me? What did it represent? And I open the book, read everything, and then sometimes I put this little index thing and I match it with the perfume. But the later perfume that I have done, it starts with this book first, because sometimes, you know, I just like to read his poem. When I read his poem, I was thinking what he was doing at that time. Sometimes he didn't say much, but it would be in the imagination, and that would create the inspiration later. I interpret it like as a movie, you know, like the sound, the feeling of him, the thing that move around, the scent, and what he meant to communicate.
That's beautifully answered. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Susie.
Okay, so now we have the question of Cynthia, so I will read it out loud. So I know your company has been a tribute to your father and his poetry from the first. Can you speak to your evolution as a perfumer and your timing on creating Montri? Did you always know you would have a perfume for him, or has this evolved with your growth as a perfume creator?
Wow. Thank you, Cynthia, for this great question. Yes, for me, I would say that when you are a perfumer, when you start a brand, each year you grow, you become a different person, you perceive things differently. And the most important thing for me is also I need to challenge myself in a different way. And the timing of creating everything it has, it wasn't, I must say to you, I wasn't planned exactly what I'm gonna do each year actually. But it just a progress of, you know, challenging and doing something different each time, doing something you never done before, going to another olfactory family. That's my objective, like jump into another different. If you see my launch in Anamkara, it was also different category, olfactory family. So it would be the evolve, how this evolved with my growth as a perfume creator. But I still have so many like room to learn, which means that I have a space that I should learn more. That's the thing I want to learn more. And also a facet, olfactory family that I haven't explored yet. I hope I answer your question.
Okay. So we have a question from Nadja that you answered a little bit. How long did you work on this perfume?
I must say more than 2 years. It started with the oud accord first. And the oud, I have been doing it for a very, very long time because like I told you, and in the past, you know, I like to say oud is one of the most difficult raw materials. And I really took time to create 2 years of the oud. The floral, it takes less time and spice.
Okay, so we have 2 more questions in the chat, but I will take the question from Christian.
Hi, Christian.
First. So you can unmute yourself, Christian. You should have a little window.
Yeah,
appearing on your
the
screen.
microphone.
Right. Sorry. First of all, thank you so much for this session. It's really incredible. My question was about the accords.
Yes.
Do you ever use the accords that you've created for one particular fragrance do you incorporate them in another one? So for example, any of these ones, will you use for something in the future, or have any of them been used before, or have you created especially for Montri?
It has been especially created for Mondri, and for me, I like to use especially for one perfume. For example, if I present you in the future another floral accord, it would be another creation, because for me, I think it would be more fun to let you and people who love perfume to discover always something new, you know. Like for me, it's the perfumer must not be too lazy. We should we should add the twist. We should doing something different. But it's true that there are certain raw material that I love to use in different perfume as a pure raw materials. Like for example, clary sage I use in both Pissara and Erawan.
Okay.
But the accord is different in each.
Great. So we hope that answered your question.
Thank you, Christian, for the question.
Thank you. So let's take more questions. So we have one from Fred who is asking, how would you define the category of Montri?
Oh, I would like you to help me define. I think you are the expert here. Don't hesitate to type here to help me. I would say woody for sure, because the wood. What do you say? It has a spicy woody, but it also have the floral woody. It also have a powdery woody, So, it has different adjective to the woody. What would you say, Teresa? Okay. It can be defined in I think it can be defined as a woody, but what appear on the skin most. Maybe spicy woody, I would say. Maybe.
Very nice. We have a question from Ella, who is asking, which is your earliest memory of your father and which ingredient of Montri connects you to that?
Thank you, Ella. The earliest memory of my father is the time my father was holding me and we went to the temple together back in Thailand, and he was buying a balloon for me. And the ingredients that I associate with would be something woody, something sweet. Because, when you were young, you want to eat some the baba papa, the sugar cloud thing. I don't know how to say in English.
Yeah, I know.
Sugar thing,
cloud.
Cotton candy. Sorry. Yeah, I would associate with that and that memory, but I didn't put it in here. But it's just that that was the feeling of happiness. One hand with the balloon and cotton candy in the other hand.
Nice. We have many more questions. 2 questions related to your mother. What did she say when she first smelled it? And would she say that Montri represents well her husband?
My mom has smelled it 4 days ago. I sent it and I put it on the postcard, and she said, "Oh, a nice leather scent." And I said, "Mom, do you detect the oud?" She said, "I don't see oud." I don't feel oud, because she relates oud to oud infini, and she thinks it has to be animalic like that. She said, "Oh, it's so leathery." Mom, does it think of your father? "Oh, don't say no more. I'm so shy about this." And I said, "Mom, do you remind me, you think of him?" She said, "Your father, rest in peace." She's too shy to, say love.
So before answering to the question of perfume she wrote, I have a question from Emna Shasha, who says that how is it possible that the oud accord is surprisingly very fresh? And that's probably why your mother didn't recognize it.
Well, oud, it can be fresh, if we bring the aspect of the freshness up. Oud, it doesn't have only one aspect. It's a very beautiful and complex raw material. But if you bring the aspect up for this particular perfume, I have blended with patchouli. and patchouli, it has like a beautiful top note. Actually, what I didn't say is that I use a lot of patchouli, but nobody, I mean, like I didn't say because it's like it became a part of the oud accords. And also we can also use also a little bit of bergamot to bring out the, let's say, the top note of the oud without destroying the core of it.
Okay. For the next question from Perfume, she wrote, when did you know the perfume was ready and it was perfect? And it was the perfect blend to represent your father.
When I have done so many versions of Montri. I mean, like the oud finished first, but the floral and the spice parts, it finished much later. So when I spray it and I close my eyes and I think it's Montri. Other than that, it's not ready.
Great. We have Amel who is asking if you're going to release an extra version of Montri.
Actually, Amel, this is also already an extract. This one is very thick, very like high. The reason that I didn't release it as an extract, even though it's, I would say as the cost of raw material is like an extract already, but I want it to be more accessible to people. Like my goal now, I want to do something that is like, if I do an extract, it's going to be a limited number of people who can access it, especially in this time of the year, you know.
Okay. So we have 5 more minutes for the question. And the next one is there frankincense in the spice accord?
Yes, there is. There is. Thank you from Somalia.
Okay. Next question from Blue Suns. Will there be a patchouli fragrance?
Yes. This is also a patchouli, but not patchouli center, let's say.
But like, I guess like the question was more, are you going to dedicate a fragrance for patchouli? Are you going
Definitely.
The next question
I'm
will be
working
when.
on it. You know, when I work with a perfume, sometimes I work, but it takes like some years to finish. I will let you know.
Nice. Next question from Sentifolia, who is asking, what did Montri like best about French culture?
Literature. He loved the book of Marcel Proust, In Search of the Lost Time. And he loved all the literature in the whole French culture. I mean, he read a lot and he always tell me to read, to study French.
Nice. So Pissara, we have a question from Smurfly Girly, who is asking, what's your favorite smell material in real life?
Right now, at the moment of life, my first smell is like the smell of my dogs. Sorry, it's like not a really good material, not always clean, but
earthy when they go for a walk.
Animalic, earthy, sometimes gourmand, and warm. But it also brings so much joy without any reason. Thanks for the question.
Okay, so Pissara, question from Daring Light. A precious perfume, it also gives me the feeling of holding an old book in my hands, and that's wonderful smell of the page turning. Did you have that image in mind in the court?
Almost, yes. I was thinking about like how he would write the ink, the old books. Yeah, I would say that now that you talk about that, I mean, my whole house when I was growing up, it smelled of that book, the old book, the library. And that's the reason why I love Europe, Mike. I love smelling the library and being there, remind me of my old home.
Very nice. Well, that leads to the next question from Jonathan, who's asking, who's your French writer or writer from anywhere that you like the most?
I love so many.
It's hard to answer when I see all your books.
Apart from my father, I love also like a very love poem, love poem of Kenneth Rexroth. It's called Love Poem of Marie Chico. It's like a Japanese woman who write to her lover in a haiku form, very erotic and very like beautiful.
Very nice. And I will take the last question from Rachasarn, who is asking if it comes only in 50 ml or 100 ml. So talking about Montri. So I guess I can answer that question. There's going to be two formats who will be released on June 1st. It's the 50 ml that you have here.
And the bigger.
And then the 100 ml. Following this, in few weeks, there will also be the travel set of
in a month, I guess.
We hope. We cross our fingers.
Yeah.
So it's 22.5 ml in total.
Yeah.
So
the
yes,
travel set.
there's gonna be many formats available.
Oud Infinite and Pissara, we only have 50 milliliters for now, but maybe one day.
Okay. And last question, we have Nirsen asking if you are allowed to post about it yet. That's a really good question.
You can.
So I guess we can close the Q&A session answering to this. You can actually start posting about Montri. We will share with you a link to the media kit, which will allow you to download in high quality all the materials, photos, along with campaign pictures and some other artwork that you can use for writing, basically, or anything that you need. So yes, that's a big yes.
Thank you.
So this is the end of the presentation. So just before closing it, we would like to share with you the latest news at Dusita.
Yeah.
We hope you really enjoy Montri presentation that we prepared with the bottom of our hearts.
Yes.
And there's a little something that we've launched recently, and we would like to share with you the experience. It's the Atelier Dusita. So I guess, Pissara, you can talk about it a little bit.
So I recently opened the Atelier Dusita for those who want to learn or create their own perfume. So the atelier is 2 hours, and I guide them through the process of creation and creativity using the accords and raw material from my laboratory, with like over 130 raw materials. It was very, very fun so far. I have done already 5 ateliers. It's very time consuming as well, but it's very good. Like I chose to do the hard way, but if any of your friend or any of you want to come to join, don't hesitate to let me know. It will be my pleasure. And you're gonna get your own 50 milliliters bottle at the end.
Nice. Sorry, we had the last question that I want to answer from Daring Light, who is asking if you will be able to get official samples for your customers from the distributors, and the answer is yes.
Definitely. Some of the country already have it now.
Yeah, exactly. Great.
Wow. I'm so happy to share this perfume with you, and me and the Dusita team, we are so happy and grateful to meet you and your support. Thank you so much for joining the live.
Thank you very much.
It means the world to me,
and we hope to see some of you in Milan if you participate.
Oh yes, we are going to SN Milan. Please
I see some hands. Yes.
You can write me, and we can, fix.
Yes, we'll send you an invitation to join our booth anyway, so you'll get all the information. Hope to see you soon, and if not, in the next presentation.
Yes, or otherwise you can come to our boutique in Paris. Sometimes I'm there and would love to meet you in person.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Bye-bye. Have a lovely evening.
Have a lovely day or lovely evening.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening.
You are welcome.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.